Gotta throw on my boxing gloves for this one, because this octopus wants to fight. Beer, 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 beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Mate Brewski, for another Brewski review. And today the beer I have for you is by the Great Lakes Brewery down in Etobicoke. And this is their Octopus Wants to Fight IPA. Look at this. Green, yellow, big purple octopus with big red boxing gloves on 4 of his 8 tentacles. Big, mean looking dude. Very excited for this beer. Comes around once a year. And whenever it does, you know, you gotta just bring those gloves out and just beat the shit out of this damn octopus, or it's gonna kick your ass. Coming in at 6.2 alcohol by volume and 88 IBUs. It's a big, heavy hitter. So let's crack it open and let's pour it in to my Great Lakes Brewery pop can style glass. Oh, I love this beer. Haven't had it in a year. Time to pour, and we're going to do that much. Looking at that nice oiled head, a little bit of good height on that. A bit more of a clear beer, slightly hazy-ish. A lot of bubbles coming up from that particular pour at least. Looks very nice. Light gold, maybe like a straw color. Something like that. Looks very nice. I've had this beer many times, a few times before. Last year and the year before that. But this is the 2018 edition. And let's put my nose in here and see what kind of smells we have. One thing I've noticed is that Great Lakes beers have a certain smell. At least their IPAs and like pale ales. Pine, grapefruit, some like pepper notes in there, I think. Tropical notes, but there is just this one distinct smell I get from Great Lakes beers. I don't know what it is. It just came to me now. It's like I'm smelling this. I'm like, I usually get this smell from them. It just smells like I don't know, like water coming off like an ocean or like a lake or something like that. That's sort of what I can relate to it. It definitely isn't that, but that's how my mind sort of thinks of it. Maybe it's just because it's called Great Lakes Brewery that I'm putting lakes and that into my brain, but it really does for me. So without further ado, let's fight this octopus, shall we? Like mangoes. Mangoes coming in very nice. Pine stays with you. Hoppiness, beautiful. Grapefruit, little maltiness going on there as well. It's like a slight resiny pine, sort of coats your tongue just slightly, like on the outer rim of the taste bud sort of thing, and stays with you after the finish. Very, very nice indeed. I really like this beer. I really enjoy this beer. 88 IBUs, definitely pretty bitter. Me, I don't get it as much because I'm much more accustomed to it, but it's still that nice resininess to it. Not too intense, but they're very flavorful. So let's keep on drinking and see what else we can find. Cheers, everybody. Almost like a bit of lemon, some tangerine, I want to say. A little bit like spicy almost. Spicy and citrusy and just slightly fruity, nice and pine, resiny. Fantastic. This is definitely a heavy hitting beer in the bitterness department. But, you know, I'm a seasoned fighter and whatnot, so I can take this without any troubles. Moving over to the can now. Big octopus on the front, boxing gloves, the whole shebang. Really angry looking guy. Pretty neat. Moving over to the backside, we do have some descriptions, both of the beer and the Tank 10 series. So we'll start with the main description. Octopus Wants to Fight IPA. Our pet octopus is a bit of a jerk. He's that guy who has a couple, then either tells you how much he loves you or threatens to fight you. So we brewed this IPA with 8 varieties of hops and 8 types of malt. We've targeted 88 IBUs and 8.8% to appease him. Sadly, when he found out that we fabricated all of the above info, it only made him more volatile. We are starting to realize that Octopus was a poor choice of a pet, or for a pet, sorry. And the Tank 10 series, stemming from our Project X line, Tank 10 is a chickle trunk of tasty treats. This series is payback to our hardworking brewers. We reserved fermenting tank number 10 and gave them the green light to brew whatever the heck they want. Bottoms up. Ingredients in this are water, malted barley, flaked oats, hops, and yeast. Serving temp is 3 to 5 degrees centigrade. Glassware is a revival glass. Don't have that. I have the pop can glass. And IBUs of 88. Please refrigerate. Octo says, don't tell me to drink this beer fresh. Well, obviously you probably want to because it is an IPA. Looking on the bottom for brewed on date, we do have some sort of code. Packaged on 040418. So this was only 6 days ago that this beer got packaged up, and that's awesome. Very fresh. Just oh so delightful. Citrusy notes I'm getting from it. The acidity of it works really well with the hoppiness, and a slight, like a slight maltiness going through, just like an underlying thing, and then sort of pumps up near the finish, mixing in with that resiny pine. Very, very nice. A little bit of breadiness. Mouthfeel is good. Slightly seems slightly creamy of a mouthfeel, but it's really not. It's just really super smooth. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing in a glass. Moving over to the website now, GreatLakesBeer.com. They do list the ABVs, IBUs, styles, serving temp, glassware, all that jazz. And they also have tasting notes. Tasting notes says it pours a beautiful burnt orange, I can't read. Burnt gold edging into a dull orange. Like an orange creamsicle complete with a tight white head. As you can imagine, lots of tropical fruits abound from the glass with the first whiffs, followed by a walk in the woods as pine, evergreen, and some hibiscus notes are picked up. The first sip provides some sweetness, some dank grass combined with pine needles, and then onto juicy fruit. Soft body with some middle mouthfeel bitterness that tastes like another. Very, very nice description. And they also do copy the story of the beer, which is also on the back of the can, like I read earlier. And finally, moving down, food pairing recommendations. They say calamari. ... Clever. I like it. Very clever. I'm not a big calamari guy. I've tried it, I think, once. Not my thing. But for anybody that likes calamari and looking for a beer to pair it with, grab some of this while it's available, because I think you might enjoy that. They're recommending it. I have no say in that, but you gotta go with what the brewery says, right? I do wish they listed the hops and malts that they used. That would just make everything so much better. They do have a little bit of room under the sort of the logo picture of the beer. But yeah, adding the malts and hops would definitely be a great addition to the website information. I know the can's pretty filled up with information, which is great. They do list everything you want to know, ingredients, IBUs, stuff on the bottom. That's great. Finally, moving over to Untapped. Octopus Wants to Fight IPA has been given a 3.96 bottle caps out of 5, and that's out of just under 7,800 ratings. So a lot of people have drank this beer, and damn it deserves that number for sure. Maybe even higher, depending on who you are. But with all that said, we are down to our final sip, so I'm going to take this and get right to ratings. Cheers, everybody. Let's put in those final blows. Down the hash she goes. Octopus KO'd. Beautiful. Rating for the beer. I do enjoy this beer. I'm very happy when it comes back every year. Pine, to the little bit of oranginess, to the tropical fruits, to that nice maltiness, that slight bit of brightness that sort of stays on your tongue just a tad bit in the finish. Extremely, extremely nice. Good carbonation, nothing too crazy, doesn't overtake your mouth by any means, any of the flavors in your mouth, sorry. Goes down velvety smooth. Phenomenal, phenomenal beer. Perfect for the springtime, the end of the winter, the long winter, and coming into those warmer days. This is perfect for the season. So with that said, beer definitely gets a 8.5 out of 10 in my books. Beautiful beer. Moving over to presentation now, Great Lakes always does a bang-up job with their can designs. Their logos look tremendous. Great, have the description of the beer, the Tank 10 series. Ingredients are listed, IBUs are listed, glassware, serving temp, all that jazz. And finally on the bottom, a packaged on date. Hell yeah, that's perfect. Everything you want to know about a beer is here. And they've used up all the real estate on their can. If you have space on your can or bottle, fill that shit with information. I've been saying that from time and time again. Do it. You're only going to do yourself and your drinkers a favor. Finally, going over to the website now. Website always looks good. Definitely all the same information from the can is on the website, but adding tasting notes and also food pairings. But I think they could have just added in maybe the malts and hops that they used in the beer. I think that would be just the cherry on top to a perfect website and perfect can design. So with that said, presentation, just because there is no malts and hops used on the website, still, I know they really should. I want to give it 10 out of 10. Screw it. I don't know. I need that there. 9.5 out of 10 for presentation. Can looks amazing. Website's amazing. Just add that malts and hops and yeast, and you're, swear to God, 10 out of 10 for presentation. With all that said, if you have any comments, questions, beers you want me to review in the future, you can leave all that information down in the comment box below. If you want to go ahead and like the video or subscribe to me, Mate Brewski, that would be greatly appreciated as well. As for my question of the day to you is, what is the weirdest pet you've either heard of over the news, a friend having, family members having, or something else, something you've just heard? What's the weirdest pet? Me, I know there's some pretty weird pets. I'm pretty sure people sometimes might keep alligators. I've heard of those stories where they get too big and they try to flush them, stuff like that. Really weird. Alligators are not a good pet, and like they said, octopuses aren't either. But with all that said, that's going to do it for me, Mate Brewski, and like I always say, crack a beer and enjoy. Cheers.